These three red flags explain why the SpaceX IPO is a pump and dump. My name is Shannon Locke. I'm board certified in criminal law. Practice every day in state and federal court. Number one, the NASDAQ changed its rules to include SpaceX in its top 100 index fund. The Russell indexes also changed their rules to include SpaceX in their index funds. That's number one. Usually, you have to wait a certain amount of time, have a seasoning period, before a company can be considered to be part of that index fund. Index funds control billions of dollars worth of assets. And when you own an index fund, you have to buy. You don't get to choose your stock. You have to buy according to what is in the index. And it allows lots of people, it requires lots of people to then purchase SpaceX stock. That's number one. So that drives up demand. Number two, SpaceX didn't release very much stock. They only released about 4.3% of the company, of the shares available. They released 4.3% of the shares available to be put on the market during that IPO. So you have very little stock being sold on a percentage basis, and you have index funds that are required to buy it when they don't usually have to, which drives the price up. Then insiders are not required to wait the typical 180-day period. They're allowed to sell early, according to the IPO. They're allowed to sell early. So you've got these insiders that are allowed to sell early, right? So that releases more stock into the mix. You've got index funds that are required to buy when they didn't have to before, okay? And then you have very little stock being released initially, so the price goes way up. Hasn't really worked that well for them, but it's certainly an inflated stock price because of all these artificial rule changes that they're taking advantage of. So if you have any ability to avoid buying SpaceX and avoid buying NASDAQ's index funds and the Russell 5,000, 1,000, and 100, avoid those indexes so you aren't forced to buy SpaceX.